two things very briefly, the first one of which I should have covered in the first lesson video, so we'll do it now, and that is right hand position. And depending on how your hand is shaped, you might vary this, but I'm going to show you how, with my hand, how I need to hold my hand in order to do the things that I do with my right hand. So first, I rest my forearm on the armrest. But I had my fingers, if you can get that camera where it'll show a little bit. I had my fingers more or less perpendicular to the head, not like this. And the reason is obvious. Just with a simple drop thumb, if your hand is like this, it's very hard to drop your thumb. You're dragging across all the other strings. Get your hand up, brace these three fingers here, and or don't brace them, but just rest them on the head, and pick. And you can see how the thumb gets right in between the strings without bumping into the string below it. So you want to keep your hand as vertical as possible so that your thumb can come down between two strings, let's say between the second and third, in order to pick the third without bumping into the to pick the second without bumping into the third. And here's why that's so important. One thing that the right hand stuff I showed in the first lesson didn't cover is something that I use a lot, and that's where I cross my thumb up past my finger to get a second note. So I would go, for instance, the string numbers 3, 2, 1. In the last lesson, you learned to bring your finger and thumb down that way. 1, 2, 3. This is just the opposite. Finger on the third, thumb on the second, finger on the first. If your hand is laying down too low and you've picked the third string and you go to pick the second string with your thumb will bump into that third string and stop it from ringing. I have a little shake in my thumb, so you just have to kind of overlook that. Hear how I'm killing that third. I picked the third string, and then as soon as I get my thumb in there for the second, it kills the vibration of the third. It makes it staccato, and you don't want to do that. So you want to hold your hand as vertical as possible. So with that, let's say 3, 2, 1. You can do a forward reverse roll, kind of like that's 3, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. In chinkapin hunting, which I just played, I think I used probably everything that I've shown you so far with my right hand. I use that crossover right here. So that's the whole lesson for this time. Just get your hand resting on the head so that you have somewhat of a depth gauge. These three fingers that you're not picking with. And keep your hand as vertical as you can, as perpendicular to the head as you can comfortably. That means your wrist is going to be up fairly high.